Another episode. King's Gridiron Challenge TV. Okay, here we go. A day late, but that's okay. Better late than never. This will be installment number 4 for the team previews and the last team in the new Madden division. Bauxmen Express 1972. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at Bauxmen Express. Missed the playoffs last year, finished 8th in 2011. Usually considered a solid, strong playoff contending team. Last couple years, a couple down years we could say for him. Let's go starting at the top and just work our way down. Quarterback Cam Newton. Guy's got top 5 quarterback potential when you add in his rushing ability and mainly his goal line ability. This guy can put up double-digit touchdowns from inside the 5-yard line on any given year. And you got that guy. It's like Michael Vick of old. You add some running quarterback ability into a passer that can pass for 4,000 plus yards. He's got to cut down on his interceptions. You know, he's got a chance to get 30 touchdowns a year though. Solid guy. Cam Newton, he's set at quarterback for many years. Then wide receivers. Dwayne Bowe, a few years ago, 15 touchdowns. Dropped off a little bit with Matt Castle as his quarterback. Bringing Alex Smith to Kansas City. I think he's going to be able to find Bowe early and often. Dwayne Bowe's got a real chance at double-digit touchdowns again. 1,000-yard season. Especially when Andy Reid likes to throw the ball 65% of the time plus. Looking good in Kansas City. Also Steve Smith, another solid wide receiver. He's getting up there in age, but he's still producing numbers. Steve Smith last year, 135 points in our league. That's a very solid starting wide receiver 2 type numbers. Tight end Greg Olsen, also Carolina. A Carolina passing attack going for Bauxmen Express. Some people say that Greg Olsen's got a chance to be a top 5 tight end in fantasy football. Definitely like that potential there. Got that ground game working. Steve Smith going on the outside. If Carolina can find a number 2 wide receiver, open up more holes for Greg Olsen. But this guy's got talent. He's going to see the ball early and often. I believe second receiving option there in Carolina. It's going to be a solid tight end, top 5 potential. Running back Doug Martin. Muscle hamster. He's got a chance to be a top 3 running back for years and years to come. Young, busted out on the scene. I think, unfortunately, I do remember that Oakland game when all he did was run. So Doug Martin's solid. He's going to be a big piece of Bauxmen Express team for the future and the present currently too. Second flex position. He's got many options there. Dexter McCluster, be a good slot guy in Andy Reid's system. Get a lot of slants, a lot of catches over the middle, get him in space and let him work. Panther running backs, Jonathan Stewart, D'Angelo Williams, those guys can put up big numbers. A few seasons ago, both of them got 1,000 yards, or real close to 1,000 yards each. Tapered off the last few years. Cam Newton takes away some of those goal line touchdown opportunities. These guys are going to have to rely on a lot of catches out of the backfield, a lot of rushing yards, and probably rushing TDs from outside the 5-yard line. Otherwise, it's Cam Newton's show down there. You look at the rest of his team. John Baldwin, possibly number 2 wide receiver in Kansas City. I know they had high hopes from when they drafted him. Hasn't really come around quite yet. Maybe Andy Reid can light a fire under that guy and get his big playability out there. Jermaine Gresham, Bauxmen traded a 1st-round draft pick for this tight end. Could be a solid tight end. A lot of people are saying that Efer would take away some catches. Definitely looks to be better ability there. Tight end from Notre Dame, but he's a rookie. He'll probably be brought along slowly. As New England showed, you can be successful in the NFL with 2 tight end sets. Maybe this actually helps Gresham take some coverage off him, gets him open a little more. Only time will tell, depending on how Cincinnati uses that offense. They really only have A.J. Green as the only receiving option. Hawkins, little slot guy, came in there. He had some chance abilities. But maybe Eford and Gresham become good receiving duo there. Backup quarterback Matt Flynn. It's going to be solid. Remember him from the Seahawk days. Got beat out by Russell Wilson, as we all know, but this guy looks to be showing a lot in Oakland's training camp. Not a really strong arm, but we also remember that Green Bay game against Detroit when he threw 6 touchdown passes. So he's got some ability. Oakland wide receivers have always been question marks. Looks like they always have one of the next big things, and they kind of taper off. Neris Moore looked to be a stud guy. He's kind of tapering off. Streeter there, maybe their number 2. So Matt Flynn's also got a new tight end to throw to. They're going to try to put some pieces together on that Oakland offense still. Matt Flynn going to be about an average season, but probably a quality guy. He really only needs him for 1 game during Cam Newton's bye week, so not too bad there. Travis Kelce, I believe his name is, rookie tight end for Kansas City. That's a good piece to grow on there, especially he's number 3 tight end for Bauxmen. Doesn't have to play him right away. We can see if he can grow in that Kansas City offense with Andy Reid and Alex Smith running the show up there. Austin Collie, San Francisco wide receiver. This guy's got ability, also has a fragile head of concussions. Don't know if he can stay on the field too long. We'll see. Then it looks like Bauxmen's looking for the future. Got number 6 draft pick a couple years ago, picking up Doug Martin. That was a solid pick. His number 6 pick this year was Giovanni Bernard. This guy looks to have some big playability, a lot of lateral good movement, quickness. Cincinnati running back, probably going to take over for the law firm pretty soon here. They say that's a 50-50 split, but this guy will be the pass-catching back. If Cincinnati gets into shootouts, Gio will be the one on the field. So PPR league, that guy's got a chance to put up some points too. Keenan Allen, also a rookie wide receiver in San Diego. He looked like he was buried on the depth chart, but Denaro Alexander out with an ACL injury. Allen's got a chance to step it up. A lot of people thought he was the top rookie wide receiver in the draft until he got injured. Couldn't go through combines and some other things. So there's some good pieces for him to build on. Bauxmen's got some young guys that look like they can come through in the next few years, can really turn his team into a solid contender. Caleb Sturgis, rookie kicker out of Miami. We'll see how he can do. A lot of people are saying that he's going to beat out Miami's pass kicker there, Carpenter, so we'll see. Rookie kickers have come along in the last few years, so it's not a solid, it is a solid move, not a bad plan at all to pick up a rookie and grow with them. Detroit defense. Defense looks to be a little bit of a weak spot for Bauxmen Express. Detroit, they got a lot of players, a lot of good front line, D-line players there, but they just don't put up the points. They got to play the Packers twice, Chicago twice, even Minnesota with Peterson twice, so they put up a lot of points. You think this team would get a lot more sacks than they do, force more turnovers, just hasn't happened. We'll see. IDPs. So you got TJ Ward, solid safety out of Cleveland, hasn't quite reached potential they thought he would. Rashad Jones, Miami defensive back, just signed a big contract. We'll see if he plays up to that contract. 2 guys that are solid, 100-point IDPs. 100-point IDPs are probably about average to above average, so solid starters, not great, but definitely not terrible. Greg Hardy, defensive end for Carolina, 80 points last year. That's a real solid top tier guy there, top defensive lineman. Guy's predicting himself to get 50 sacks. Might want to skip his physical this year and give him a mental. See, it's a little crazy. I would never go ahead and predict that no matter how good I was. I definitely don't think he's that good, but we'll see. He's just a lot of talk there. Donald Butler, inside linebacker for San Diego. Good, solid guy. Had some injuries last year. You know, could be a top guy. 3-4. I've got Manti Te'o playing beside him. Racking up a lot of tackles. Not too many sacks. Actually, 0 sacks last year, so he's got to rely strictly on tackles there. So he's going to be a product of the system. Vontaze Burfict from Cincinnati. Head case guy. Completely dropped out. Thought this guy had first-round talent a couple years ago. Cincinnati took a chance on him. He actually played good, kept his nose clean. It's not too bad. Zach Brown, Tennessee linebacker. He put up some big numbers last year. He got himself 123 points in our league. That's real solid, but couple touchdowns, 160 return yards. Doubt he's going to duplicate those numbers, so it's a good backup for him to have. Anthony Spencer, defensive end slash linebacker. So that guy played 2 positions in Yahoo Fantasy. That's definitely a solid defensive lineman backup there. Even possibly could put up starter numbers. We'll see. But we'll see about that. Overall, Bauxmen Express, he's got some solid players. He's going to have to lean on Cam Newton and Doug Martin a lot. Possibly if Dwayne Bowe comes around in Kansas City, that would be a real nice pickup. He's got, you know, average to above average bench players there. A couple rookies, maybe going to do better next year than this year. Defense looks to be a weak spot for him. I think that his opponents are probably going to outplay him in the defensive position quite a few games this year. Maybe he can make a move to shore up that defense. It depends. Always depends. You always got to find a trade partner to make any moves. Can't find a trade partner, can't do anything. Bauxmen Express missed the playoffs last year, had pretty much a down season. Basically about the same team as he had last year, adding a couple of rookies and some Kansas City guys. Looks like he might be an Andy Reid fan. We're going to go ahead, playing that division. He's got Monster Boners, Pink Flamingos, and the Holy Divers. This guy's also going to be like Holy Divers and Monster Boners in that division, flirting around 500, you know, top 10 type team on the outside of the playoffs looking in. Never know though, and surprise, his guys go off, your opponents don't. You can win some games here. 13 game season, what our outlook's going to be for Bauxmen Express. We're going to go ahead and we're going to guess he's going to be a 5-8 team. You know, of course, 2 game swing here or there. Be a bottom team, or he could just make the playoffs. A lot's going to have to do with Cam Newton not turning the ball over, Doug Martin producing again like he did last year, and Dwayne Bowe producing like he did a few years ago. Steve Smith's going to be solid for him. That second flex position is kind of a toss-up for him. It looks like it's going to be a revolving door of players all year long. Guys got rookies to build on, so the outlook, future looks bright for him if these rookies pan out. Rookies don't always pan out, so take a look and see. Rookies, you've got in our league, C-Bob drafted Ryan Matthews a few years ago, #1. That guy really never panned out. A few years back, Pimp Daddy drafted Sean Jackson, the 25th round of our draft, for about the best steal ever, most likely. Probably some waiver wire pickups there, but rookies can go anywhere from top to bottom. Bauxmen Express, though, we're going to say that his outlook's brighter in future than it is currently right now. I think it's going to be on the outside of the playoffs looking in. This concludes the 4-team division preview of the Madden. What we're going to go ahead and say, is a little longer video than normal here, is we're going to say the Pink Flamingos at about a 9-4 season take the Madden division. We've got Monster Boners, New York Holy Divers, Bauxmen Express. I believe they're going to finish in that order. New York Holy Divers is going to be looking at a 6-7 team outside the playoffs. Monster Boners 6-7, possibly 7-6, flirting with playoff contention. Bauxmen, you know, grading on the curve, depending on all your division opponents and everything. 5-8 season, probably going to be bottom tier cellar dweller in the Madden division. We will see though, those predictions could flip-flop. You never know how an injury can hurt a team. You never know when some guy just blows up that you weren't expecting. Sleepers, gyms, overachievers. But Madden division should be real exciting this year. You got your 2-time defending champion Pink Flamingos. Bauxmen Express is a former champion himself. Holy Divers has played in the title game, and Monster Boners is looking to really build off his young guys and the team that he's building. So should be an exciting games for the Madden division, all their inter-division games. But I'm going to say that probably only get the division champion out of that. I doubt that we see a wild card coming from the Madden division, but if you guys think so, go ahead and prove us all wrong. But looks to be an exciting division. We're going to see if somebody can knock off the Pink Flamingos. She's got 3 new contenders this year, so we'll see. But Madden Division looks to be an exciting one that we'll keep an eye on all year long. Next up is going to be Pimp Daddy from the Hallis Division coming on Monday. Today's a Friday. We had some good preseason games last night. Seahawks looked good. Of course, it's only preseason. San Diego sucks, but Seahawks looked good. Bunch of games this tonight too, so everybody enjoy the weekend and look forward to Monday's preview of Pimp Daddy starting the Hallis Division.